Oh, the super. Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? So we're going to be doing some 200 super testing. I have set up builds for most supers in the game, and they're all going to be at 200 super. And the way we're going to be getting 200 super is that we have a build set up. The super stat is already fairly high, and then we're going to be using font mods, which in this case is super fonts, to get us past 200. And we're just going to see how much damage they can do, how much it compares to older supers, just like in terms of the actual number, because it's going to be way lower. Betting how much a Thundercrash hits for, it's going to be like, I don't know, 10,000 or something. We're going to find out. But the first one on the list is Titan, and then after that we're going to do Well, just to see if the 200 super stacks. I think reports are saying that it doesn't, but we're just going to test to be doubly sure that Well doesn't stack with super. The first test is Curious Thundercrash with a Facet of Courage, which I have set up already, so I just need to make sure I save my class ability. But yeah, another thing, guys, is that dungeons are -10 now, so they're like a little bit harder. They used to be pre, because they were -5 beforehand. Why am I not testing in the shooting range? Because here we have an actual health bar, which is quite nice. I think people are still going to want to see the damage versus an actual boss, you know, in terms of health, that sort of thing. We have my last ability, so as soon as that pops, okay, we'll swap here. Should have 200 super, and then we tap, 16,000, and it seems like it's doing way less to the actual health bar as well, which is interesting. 16,000? 16,000 for a Thundercrash, bro? Oh, 11,000! Wait, why did it say 16, but then it was 11? I'm not sure about that. 11,000, we'll call it 11,000. So, alright. Oh, yeah, and the other thing I wanted to test, so that, it should be a 45% increase from the base damage. So, yeah, this next one we're just going to do without 200 super. Here we have a 1 or less than 100 super Thundercrash. So I'm going to proc Slice, and I'm going to crash here. 11,296. Ah, but hang on. So that is the number that showed up on the wipe screen, I believe. 7830. It was about that, and yeah, that is 45% more. So that is just confirming to me that the 200 super setup that I had there was working properly. So that's the Titan done. We're gonna come back to Titan, but now we're actually gonna do Well of Radiance, because I'd wanted to see if a 200 super Well of Radiance is going to improve the damage of our weapons, since it's technically super damage, or if there is something that they've done to prevent that, basically. The first test I want to do is a Well with less than 100 super, just to see how much a shot of Choir does. This right here is Well of Radiance with less than 100 super. In fact, we have 44, so it shouldn't affect our weapon damage at all, and it won't, because Reg is a boss, it won't affect with the weapon stat. So we're doing 275 a headshot versus Greg. Bear that in mind, chat. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we have a loadout set up with 200 super, which is this one. Okay, so this is going to be the 200 super test. So I'm going to swap now to my 200 loadout. Replace the Well, and let's see. Still 275. Okay, so they thought about that, because look, we definitely have over 100 super here, and it does not stack. That settles that. I do have a loadout. This has 150 weapons on it, and I put weapon fonts. If it counts as both weapon and super damage is what I'm trying to establish here. How many stat points does each font mod give? So each font mod gives, with 1 copy it's 20, with 2 it is 40, and with 3 it is 50. It's quite good. Font mods, I think, guys, I know it's a little early, but I think in builds and DPS, font mods are going to be the way to go, just because of how many benefits you actually get from having like those enhanced perks from your enhanced stats. This is Well of Radiance with 200 weapons, so this actually should increase my damage. Yeah, 316. Okay. So even though I am technically dealing super damage, or maybe I'm not, maybe they have changed the internal coding, it does scale with the weapon stat, so that's 316 versus 275. So that should be 15%. Is exactly 15%. So yeah, we are going to come back to Warlock later, but I did just want to establish if it stacks with the Well, which it doesn't. So the next one we are doing is actually Star Eater Glacial Quake. So this has converted into a super class item, so I should, even when I swap to this loadout here, yeah, easily at 200 super with like the super class item being converted. It's in most Star Eater. The plan is to start with Glacial Quake, and we're just going to get orbs, and we're just going to use these loadouts here to test the prismatic supers. So I believe we have 3 prismatic supers to test. So this is Star Eater Scales Behemoth, and I believe we do have Facet of Ruin on here with Feast of Light times 6. So this should be more than the Thundercrash. It should be. So more than 11,000. So just gonna make sure all the crystals are like near him. Yeah, that's perfect, Greg. Stay right there. Okay, nice. That is way more damage. Oh my goodness. 200 super behemoth. Holy shit, that is almost half his health bar. Wow. And it's only 20,000. It's only 20,000. That's crazy. So Greg has like 50,000 health. Now I want to do Twilight Arsenal, which is the same build here. So I'm just going to swap this. So we do have Courage and Ruin on all of these, by the way, guys. So that is how we are increasing the damage of the super. Hoping we don't get booed from the servers. But okay, so Twilight Arsenal, Feast of Light times 6 with Courage. So I'm going to swap to the build. In fact, yeah, it took a second there. We're going to proc Slice on Greg, and then we're going to do Twilight Arsenal. Boom. Okay. Seemed like it was similar to the Thundercrash. I think maybe like 9k? Oh, okay. 9.7, and we're contacting servers. Moving along, I am going to do Bladefury next. So we're going to be doing, again, with Star Eater Scales, Bladefury. So this will be Star Eater Behemoth, and I'm going to do heavy, light as my rotation. So we're just going to go heavy, light, boom. Last heavy attack to finish it off. Yep, there we go. Okay, believe that is the optimal combo. I tried the fire. I have not tried the fire range, but hang on a second. Oh, 11,464. That is more. Well, of course, it would be more than Thundercrash. It's so difficult to gauge these numbers, like, because they're so close together now. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. The last one I want to do for Titan is Pyrogale Gauntlets with Roaring Flames times 3. So we're going to have to try and carry Roaring Flames into damage. In fact, I'm just going to throw that. Roaring Flames times 3. Okay, now I can swap. I have Roaring times 3. I'm going to pop this right on top of him. Slam down. I'm just going to try and make him stay here. Full burn damage. All the cyclones. Yep, should be ticking everything. When he's done, we'll jump off. 7, 5. There we go, he's done. What do we got here? 10.6. Okay, so that's slightly less than Thundercrash. But I guess it is a lot more work. But still respectable. Well, I'm excited for this one, actually. I'm very excited for fucking Geomax, dude. Geomax stabilizers, let's get it. Okay, so this one is going to be Chaos Reach. Let me just get rid of these ads. So this will be Chaos Reach with 200 super and Geomax stabilizers. Let me just swap the loadout real quick. And here we go. I want to see that health bar move. Boom. And then we're done. Okay. 13,000. I'm happy with that. That is more than a T-Crash. That's more than a T-Crash. Not quite as much as a Behemoth, but yeah, 13,000. What was it? 13,208. And now we're going to do some prismatic supers. The first one being Nova Bomb. That's going to be a Star Eater Nova Bomb. Apotheosis Star Eater. I should have an incredible amount of super stat on this loadout. Yes, I do. As long as Greg looks at me. So here we go again. I'll swap the loadout. I'll make sure he's unraveled, and then we'll go from far away. There we go, they're the Seekers. Nice. Yeah, that was much better. That was much better. That's got to be another 10 or 11k. Yeah, 10.5. There we go. 10,507 for a Star Eater Nova Bomb with Courage. Nice. The next one I want to do is Star Eater Song of Flame. Swap this to Song of Flame here, and we're going to do the same again. We have Star Eater Song of Flame with Courage. You can apply Unravel and then pop Song right in his face. We have Unravel, and we're going to pop Song. And we're going to melee grenade. Melee grenade. Melee grenade. Melee grenade. Melee grenade. And then another melee. And then another grenade. And then we're done. That is a lot more than I was expecting. 15,000? 20,000? What did they do to Song of Flame? I swear it was never on Behemoth level. What? That's actually shocking. They must have done something to that. Are the ignitions scaling with 200 super? Because it's super damage, not melee. Oh, is that why? Yeah, because the ignitions are counted as super damage. That's why they count. I mean, chat, to be fair, I could just test this. I could just, like, real quick, we could just be a bit cheeky and use a tractor here. Let me just fucking grab one and see how far we can crank this. Is there anything else we can, like, crank that with? Trench barrel, perfect paradox. Oh yeah, man. You're right. This is deviating off the point a little bit, but this is more of just a showcase. Okay, let's try this. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna unravel him. Tractor this. Do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Reapply tractor. Snap again. 1, 2, 3. Oh my, the damage. 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Boom. Okay. For what that's worth. Not quite as... Oh, he had it right on the money. 38,000. Okay, yeah, like I said, that's kind of deviating off the point a bit. So anyway, let's go back to the regular loadout here. Because we have one more super left to do, and that is Needlestorm for this. This will be Star Eater Needlestorm with 200 super. There we go. 7,400. Yeah, okay. Not very impressive. 7,440. That is ass. The next one we are doing, chat, is Dawn Chorus with Dawnblade. Okay, so this is going to be... hold on, I have a Helion active right now, which is not good. The Helion's got 8 seconds on it. That should be fine to run it out. Give me a second here, Greg. I will swap loadouts preemptively. Okay, here we go. Dawn Chorus. Boom. Dawn Chorus Dawnblade. Just in the nick of time. Oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. 10,500. Oh my goodness. Guys, we are going to move straight to Hunter now. We have some Hunter ones to do. First one on the list is going to be Celestial Nighthawk. Here we go. We're going to do it this way. We're going to sever him this way. We're going to go like this. We're going to pop the Nighthawk super without dying, hopefully. 13,974. Is it going to be different? Okay, yeah, it is. On the wipe screen is different. 8,311. I don't know which number to trust. We're just going to go by the wipe screen. 8,311. The next one I want to do is Star Eater Silkstrike. Because I'm a big fan of Silkstrike. It's one of my favorite supers. I got high hopes here. I got high hopes for Silkstrike. So here we have Silkstrike with Star Eater Scales and 200 super. I'm just doing left clicks. Something tells me this is going to be a lot of damage. Okay, I'm guessing that's going to be like 13-ish, I want to say. Yep, right on the money. Even though the number system's changed, I still know my Greg health bar, bro. 13.890. 4 to go. The next one is... we're going to do Star Eater Storm's Edge. This was a bit of an underrated one back in the day. Always has been kind of underrated. It actually does quite a lot of damage, Storm's Edge. Okay, this is going to be Storm's Edge with Courage. We go. Seemed like it was about the same as Silkstrike, actually. Maybe slightly less. Silkstrike with 13. I reckon this is 12.5. Okay, close enough. 12,188. Star Eater Storm's Edge. Next, we are going to stay on Prismatic. We are going to be doing Silence and Squall, and we have Facet of Ruin on here. And we're just going to see how much that does. It's like a roam option. Right. Feast of Light times 6. Silence and Squall with Facet of Ruin. Let's check it. The Squall Storm tracks him. I'll just try and stay next to him just to be sure it does. Yeah. And all those shatter damage. There we go. That is not as much damage as the other supers. In fact, that might be the lowest we're seeing today. Yup, 5,144, but it was worth knowing. It was worth finding out. The next one, actually, I'm very excited about, and that is Raiden Flux Arc Staff, which I need to change here. And I actually have high hopes for this one. I think this one might be good. 15k, perhaps? We shall see. Alright, this should be way more consistent now, especially that I've kept my frames. Let's give this a crack. Arm strike combo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's better. There we go. That's better. Nice. 16,000. So I think that's probably the third highest on the list. For the last one, chat, we have... So this will be a Star Eater Gathering Storm. The very last test. Star Eater Gathering Storm. Wait for him to look at me so I can hit him in the face. Boom. I'm not expecting much from this, but we ought to do it because I think Arc is going to be very good on Hunter this season, or you know, still decent. Okay. I'm going to say 5.7. Okay, no, better, much better. I was not expecting that actually. 8.372. Okay, well, that actually marks everything for the super testing that I wanted to do today. We found out a lot of things. We found out that 200 super does not affect weapon damage in Well of Radiance, but the weapon stat does. 200 weapon stat does. We found out that Song of Flame is pretty insane with Star Eaters. For the YouTube people who are watching this video, I will have the graphic fully up on screen now as I'm saying this, so you can take a screenshot, share it with your friends or whatever. It's just the weirdest thing is just having all the numbers be so low, but it is what it is, you know, so that is your Edge of Fate super testing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.